Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 2. I'm here with the Doctor of Dota, Randy.
Ahoy.
We're taking a look at Thugwood and the Thugchans, which is not even vaguely trying, versus the grim adventures of Boys and Matty.
It has Chan in it. It's trying a little bit, like 1%, okay?
5 seconds remaining.
There's not much try going on.
Really thinking hard about the first ban. Oh, it's Tusk.
The ultimate decision is Tusk. Get rid of the Tusk. Katie, what do you think of Tusk?
Radiant team ban.
I think he's epic.
What about Disruptor?
I think he's epic.
What about any hero that doesn't get banned this game?
I think they're bad.
Okay, so this is going to be a comprehensive, exhausted list of all the non-bad heroes in Dota 2 that are going to be banned this game. Fascinating to hear.
Dire team ban.
This is
I like the banner of
Radiant team
Matty's team. That's really cool.
This is going to be my first look at this Thugwood team. I have actually yet to record their Week 1 game that'll be happening tonight.
Damn, you're all out of order.
I know, things are getting crazy.
Undying? Was this before the nerf? I think this was before the nerf, right?
No, this is probably after.
5 seconds.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, the nerf
That patch was
like...
very recent.
Okay, which
Very,
nerf are you
very
talking
recent.
about?
The one where his decay is 100 mana all levels, and the vision range on his tombstone, well, the zombie spawn range on his tombstone got decreased.
I think so, yeah.
This was before or after?
I think it's after, because I played a game where I'm pretty sure those things were the case. As Undying in this week. So, first pick Snapfire. I like how they banned out the Undying and then picked the Snapfire anyway. Well, the other team banned it. First pick Viper. Very interesting.
Viper.
Second pick Pudge. It's going to be a very annoying team to play against in general.
Ten seconds remaining.
Viper's actually gonna
who's the supports on Matty Boy's team? It's looking like there's 4 support players in one team.
The lineup is Mickle Pause 1. Is it Cranberry Sprite Pause 2? I believe so. Pause 3
Oh, that's Cranberry Sprite. Okay, I was confused.
Pause 3 Tall Balls. Pause 4 is Matty, and Pause 5 is PVC.
Yo, that's an epic hero. That's my favorite hero right there.
I am the Juggernaut.
Very much doesn't like to go into Pudge a lot though, but you know, it can work.
10 seconds.
Can lane well against Viper, depending on who Viper's in with, but he's going to be hurting a little bit the rest of the game against Viper. No Razor, by the way. Immediate Razor ban.
Do always hate to play against Razor's Juggernaut.
I am the Phoenix. I will be banned in this game.
That's not what Phoenix sounds like.
Yeah, that's true. I do like the, oh, you banned, you picked the counter to Phoenix? Well, we're not gonna let you have Phoenix, too. You can't have the counter and the hero.
Who else is Snapfire counter?
Undying.
Just Phoenix and Undying?
I would say, yeah, pretty much. Snapfire is a very proactive hero. I would not say there's a lot of heroes that Snapfire specifically counters outside of where a little Shredder's gonna do the job for you.
What about Mars? Like with the kisses?
I mean, in a way.
Or it's like good with Mars.
Right. There's like any hero that wants to stay in a very specific spot, you don't want to play into Snapfire, but it's not like totally countered by Snapfire. There's enough like
10
options
seconds remaining.
where it's undesirable but not like unplayable. When I say counter, I mean like
5
unplayable.
seconds
I mean like
remaining.
Dragon Knight into Viper type
Dire
gameplay.
team banned.
Bye-bye, Faceless Void.
Yep. Grim Adventures getting rid of the Necro. Not a bad idea. Definitely something Pudge doesn't want to deal with.
I predict Ursa pick on Matty Boy
10
team
seconds remaining.
Why is
for
that?
sure. If there's two heroes I hate to play against,
5
is Juggernaut,
seconds
is
remaining.
Faceless Void, and Ursa.
Both of those
Pretty much
things are
the only two pos ones that like counter him. He's such a strong hero right now.
I would say that PA is a pretty decent response.
You think so? That's
Fan-
not been my experience because, well, PA could be a good response, but because of how weak she is in the meta compared to Juggernaut right now, it's not been my experience.
I think the biggest thing is the old fan of knives. Jug just doesn't want anything to do with it. The biggest blue ball in the entire universe is if you get the fan of knives on Jug right before he Omni Slashes.
I've never had that happen to me.
Radiant
No
team
Rubik.
pick.
Not a bad plan. We got Enigma.
Enigma.
That's certainly somebody Jug doesn't want to see. I like the pick there. I'm not sure who's an Enigma player on Grim Adventures, maybe Tall Balls. But I do like the pick.
Doesn't Matty play Enigma?
Matty
10
does play
seconds
Enigma, I
remaining.
think. I don't know.
5
We'll have to see.
seconds remaining.
It's kind of hard to
Radiant
assemble a
team
comp on Grim Adventures so far. Clockwork,
Clockwork.
that's not somebody Enigma likes to see. Honestly, I don't think he's that big of a fan of Snap either. It's definitely going to be a game where Enigma's going to need instant BKB, basically. And until he gets
For
one, he's not going to
sure.
be
10 seconds
doing really
remaining.
much of anything.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm already starting to think maybe Enigma should have been picked at the other side of this fave. Death Prophet? Okay. Very generic, boring hero right now.
Very strong. It's kind of like the everyman hero.
Ten seconds remaining.
What's the Death Prophet counter?
5 seconds remaining.
Faceless Void, mostly.
Yeah, there isn't
Abs-
really much, is there?
Absolutely hate to be voting
Faceless
against it.
Faceless Void is an everything counter. Like,
Well, not something like DP. It's like, you know, the biggest, like the worst possible thing that can happen to you as Void is that you drop the Chronosphere and the ghosts are out there, because the ghosts do not stop for the Chronosphere and they will eat you in it. Like, there's really nothing you can do about it. It's basically a big no Chrono zone. I think the big upside to Death Prophet more than anything else is both the early game tower pushes and the ability to just easily secure the Roche pit.
Radiant
Two big
team
things right
back.
now. I don't think DP is being picked to like counter anybody or like to be a strong hero on any other real merit. It's just she's walking ult. She's just EXO. EXO towers, EXO Roche. She has other things certainly, but that's not really why she's getting picked.
10
By the way,
seconds
Tiny coming in.
remaining.
hell of a lot of lockdown
Dire
on
team
Matty's
back.
team, and not so much on the other team. Oh, there goes Ursa. I feel like they should have. Is Tiny pause one? If Tiny's
be.
not pause one, I feel like they should have taken the opportunity to just pick the Ursa. The Juggernaut might
10
be able to run
seconds
rampant
remaining.
this game if
I gotta be
he
honest,
does the gun Omni Slashes.
even though
remaining.
Ursa is invincible to
Radiant
Juggernaut, I don't
team
think I
back.
like him against any of the other heroes on that lineup. Like, he's super...
True.
Just, you don't want to be him against Clockwork, you don't want to be him really against the Death Prophet, and he doesn't really have much interaction with Snapfire, except that it's really easy for her to kite him or drop artillery on his head,
10
so...
seconds remaining. Dire team back.
And of course they have another pick. No Slark. Yeah, the Slark pick wouldn't be bad here, I don't think. So far, the Grim Adventures lineup is pretty much a big question mark to me. I don't think I really am confident on where any of these people are going so far. You know, you can narrow it down to like 2 positions each, but that's still 2 positions each, and we're really not going to get many answers, I don't think, until the final pick. You know, Tiny can be 1 of 3 roles, Viper can be 1 of 2 roles, Pudge can be 1 of 3, and Nimue can be 1 of 3. The only thing for certain is that whatever this is going to be, well, not even certain, it's quite likely that this is about to be a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be Tiny 1, and we could be getting a, no, it's not even certain, because, like, Tiny could be 1, 2, probably don't want him 3, but he could definitely be, like, 4.
Pudge could be 1.
Could be the funny Pudge 1. Viper could be 2 or 3. Enigma could be 3, 4, 5.
Or 2.
Thugwood appears to be assuming that Grim Adventures is going to be picking a 1 last. Which I don't know. This is not a bad game for Tiny 1 if we're assuming that you're going to get like more than 1 guy in Black Hole consistently. If they can do that, and Clockwork's not just going to immediately cancel it every time, which is going to be easier said than done, frankly. But if there's, on both fronts there, but if they're getting multiple people in a black hole, you know, Tiny's is going to be able to walk up to said black hole and just kill everybody inside pretty easily.
Dire team pick.
Points away.
Bangalier might
I
be
like
a little
that.
trouble for him,
I
though.
like that a lot. That's a good pick. Still very low on CC though, so the good team.
Choose your hero.
And we get even more CC on top of the ridiculous amount of CC that Matty Boy team already had.
It's 1 Pudge. Now this is like a Roche Raiders comp.
Jesus. 1 Pudge.
What's wrong with Clockwork? He doesn't look so good. Well, this is very interesting. I think, basically, in this game, the entire world is going to be resting on Enigma's shoulders, I think. Every successful fight is going to be predicated by getting somebody important in the black hole before they BKB, and every failed fight is going to be predicated by not doing that. That's more or less what you're looking at on this lineup. Why does Enigma have, like, Slardar stuff on? He's doing some cosplay.
Oh yeah, he has like Enigma from the depths.
Yeah. And then there's that Death Prophet skin that I feel like half the Death Prophet players have. But... Brain in jar. Dude, Clockwork needs
Pretty
some
cool
help.
set.
It's very not Clockwork looking, that's my biggest issue with it. Like, if you just show me a picture of that model without the name on it, and just ask me what hero it was, I don't think I would guess Clockwork instantly, to be honest with you.
What would you guess?
I don't know, I would just look at it and say, oh.
Or you take a minute to think about it and then eventually get to Clockwork.
Try a bit harder next time.
Maybe. But it feels like a glance test, which I don't like for skins. Like, if I look at a skin and I can't immediately know what hero it is, I'm not the biggest fan, I gotta say. Especially as
League
a
of
caster.
Legends has that problem, like, massively.
Interesting. Little encounter here with the bounty runes where, it seems like the Grim Adventurers didn't really realize, like, how much... What?
What? Hello?
Oh god, it's a support Viper thing. I'm just gonna say it right here, first and foremost. I understand why people are trying to do the support Viper thing. I understand why they're trying to make support Viper a thing, but man, I don't know.
Explain it to me, because I really don't.
It's basically just, I think in large part predicated on his new ags. I think it's predicated on people figuring out, like, that pretty much all you need to at least participate is your ags, your shard, and your existence, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not unthinkable for a pause 5, as long as it's all you're getting. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. And it's also just because they want to lane bully. People like lane bullies their pause 1s right now. Anyway, it is now time for the, Okay, who is this? Who is this Void fella? Is this actually their pause 1 player?
I think he is called Void, yeah.
Alright.
Team.
Let's go down the list. For Thugwood. Pause 1, on the Juggernaut, you've got Void, I assume of the faced variety. Pause 2, you've got the Bush, formerly perpetrated 9/11, on the Pangolier. Pause 3, you've got Jackie Chin on the Death Prophet. Pause 4, you got Team Captain Thugwood, who looks like he's about to maybe nope. Matty was not, unfortunately, in the correct spot for that. We're gonna get into
OMFG.
Come on, Hollywood. This is, kids are watching this. And pause 5, we've got Roxy Row on the Snapfire.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Rip Void's courier. Meanwhile, on the Grim Adventures, pause 1, you've got Mickle on the Pudge. Pause 2, Cranberry Sprite, Grad Life on that Tiny. Pause 3, you've got Tall Balls currently on the Enigma. Pause 4, you've got PVC Pipe, who's on Earthshaker. And I believe that's actually a switch. I think in week 1 it was PVC 5 and Matty 4, but I could be wrong about that. Finally, pause 5, captain of the team, you've got Matty Boy. What can you do?
What can you do?
The Bush will now laugh in stereo. That's an interesting little matchup there. The Bush pray into ice. Okay, never mind. He doesn't have his passive. I was about to say the Bush pray into Ice Frog for some lucky shots, but
Is Cranberry Sprite their resident mid laner?
yes.
Usually a pause 3, but I feel like his transition to mid lane has just been taking pause 3 heroes mid. Which, not the worst strategy for learning a new role.
Yeah, there's another team in this league. The match that I was trying to get you to record, actually. GRAS Laboratory, Big Boy LaCroix is their mid.
Big Box LaCroix.
Yep. Big Boix LaCroix is their mid.
Dogwood?
I don't know, Woody.
I don't know.
Quite slow lane phase so far. Outside of a brush with danger quite early on in the lane.
Cranberry
phase.
Sprite
Okay.
looks to be in trouble.
Maybe Cranberry. Nope. Oh man, that's close. He's looking at the water rune, but I don't know if he's gonna get there. Meanwhile, Roxy Rower randomly dies. Cranberry Sprite has to run off, and nothing's happening here. So let's look at how Roxy Roro just suddenly dies.
Damn, you skip ahead.
Did I? No, I went back. I went back.
Oh, you went back?
Yeah. Since nothing
I
actually
thought you were
happened
like,
to that
okay, this is so boring. Skip, skip, skip.
No, it's because we missed First Blood for a potential First Blood that didn't actually happen. We went back and saw this instead. Blame Cranberry. Cranberry let us down by not dying. Up to this point, Ooh, never mind, he's dead anyway.
He redeemed himself.
Yeah, there we go. So, as I was about to say, up to this point, the matchup between Pangolier and Tiny here at mid had been, for the most part, rather stalematey, but now that we're entering the eve of 5 minutes, Pangolier is starting to pull quite dramatically ahead, is up nearly 10 last hits, and of course a kill. And while I'm talking about that, of course we're going to have some funny kills higher up in top lane. Hollywood is so low. He's thinking about denying himself on creeps, but he doesn't quite get there in time. 2 fat stacks for the fat man. Matty Boy ironically spamming Thugwood in chat.
Damn, everyone's trying to till out Hollywood early this game.
Who isn't? I do like Pudge soul ringing at like 10 HP.
It's just the strategy, just tilt Hollywood every game and you got a free game.
Absolutely, I predict a very clean 2-0 victory for the Grim Adventurers here. I gotta look up between these games who the hell this Void guy is. I'm sure it's not just some random guy who came out of nowhere who's named Void. Like, this has got to be somebody, right?
I think it's just some random guy named Void.
Wow.
Roxy Roro in trouble.
PVC looks like he's kind of giving up on this a little bit. He can still actually make the shot if he's really good. Never mind, he's deciding to.
He was like debating.
Looks like he was debating taking the safer option of taking it to mid instead, and then ultimately went with neither. I can tell you this, PVC Pipe, who by the way is an astounding level 2 right now, definitely needs to, as Richard Nixon once said, definitely needs to shit or get off the pot. If he's not actually going to be ganking anybody, I think he definitely is not going to be... It's not going to be too bad for him to be in lane with Enigma. You want Enigma to get level 6 as fast as possible, that's undeniably true. You also kind of don't want Juggernaut to just be able to walk all over him and have a relatively free lane. And of course, while we're watching this, some madness is happening up at top. Just take a look at that. This is just a casual hook. Really nothing more exciting than that. Goodbye, Thugwood. Matty Boy stealing the kill. This one stupid creep just, I mean, the hook's on cooldown anyway, but that one stupid creep really trying to bottle, Pudge here. He's going for a quick Vanguard, which honestly I don't really agree with in this game. I think, you know, the Hood of Defiance is traditional on Pudge for a very good reason, and in this game it's like, okay, there's really 2 sources of physical damage that you're going to be seeing in the whole game. You've got the Pangolier, who's going to be lucky shot breaking you, which means that the damage block is really going to be just completely insufficient for what you need. And there's going to be Thugwood getting hammered here in an attempt to run in on mid. Both of the supports on Grim Adventures completely putting a stop to that. Well, Pudge has taken a out of the jungle, and Enigma is actually still kind of going uncontested in this lane. Juggernaut playing this very passively so far, which is interesting.
The core side laners are just so strong solo that they don't even need the supports. The supports can do whatever they want at this time. Enigma with the Eidolons and Pudge just being Pudge.
But the interesting thing is, I don't think Enigma is actually strong enough with the Eidolons. And one of the big issues there is, you know, at any point if Jug decides that he wants some, he can do this and just get like $1 million or force him to
waste spin on nothing.
You can do that too. I was gonna say just spin out the Eidolons, which is gonna give him like $1 million gold for nothing.
I don't like that move. I never like spin Eidolons.
Well, here's a big black hole.
Spin for the actual hero.
Pangolier has come in, but
well, they're
he's
low.
gonna get some stuff done.
One.
Juggernaut is gonna go down.
And Tall
Cookie comes out.
Gets out.
Yep, Cookie comes out just a moment too late.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Ah!
Thugwood getting chased by a tiny.
No!
Ah, no!
Dire's bottom tower
Stop!
is under attack.
I'm giving him some Half-Life 1 scientist vibes here. Anyway, yeah, you should definitely. I'll tell you this to your face: you should definitely not be afraid to spin if you're gonna get some money. Spin, win, get that dinero. I will say, with Enigma having rushed the hell out of the arcane boots, it's kind of unlikely, and he's picked up the Ring of Basilius as well, so he's never going to be really lacking on the Malify. It's going to be kind of unlikely that you're going to be able to be in a great position to kill the Enigma straight out. You're certainly not going to do it in one spin, and you're not going to follow up a spin because you're going to get Malefist. But,
Radiant's bottom
you know, if
tower
you got like
is
a
under
big
attack.
cloud of Eidolons, you could just hit Q on that, just get $1 million. Why wouldn't you, right?
Earthshaker is casually walking up to the Juggernaut. I don't think anything's gonna happen. Because no one else is around.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Whoa.
Why is your map a desert? I don't like it.
He's going to get everybody to TP to him. They're all really all just going to chase PVC pipe. And they're not even going to find him either. They actually just pulled a TP and they pulled Clockwork, who was just kind of hanging out here at mid, over to PVC pipe for literally no reason. Like, they got nothing out of that. Matty Boy is using his Q on creeps. At least he got the last hit on it.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Death Prophet Exo is down. We didn't see her use it, I don't think, but she got some... Oh, Juggernaut goes down. She got some decent damage onto the tower.
Yep. First Exo in the game really doesn't pay off, and your pause 1 dies at around the same time. That's not a great way for a lane phase to end for Thugwood, I gotta say.
Well, it's back now, so maybe they can... Yeah, they're looking to pressure this tower. Matty Boy defending it alone.
And dying very quickly.
And dying for it.
One of the big issues with the support Viper is that Viper, especially in the early game, can be run over very easily. If you're able to turn the offensive on... Okay, this is a very unnecessary snap ult. If you're able to turn the offensive on... in fairness, Roxy is probably thinking more people were in the trees there. Was not actually the case. You can turn the offensive on Viper, you can just kind of run at him and kill him very quickly, very easily. Which means that in a situation like that, he doesn't have the ability like, for example, Snapfire on the other team has, where Viper can just kind of sit in the trees, just raise havoc, and be, you know, not worth the risk to dive. Viper doesn't have that ability. If you see Viper, you can just kind of kill him. Like, either he can kill you, or you can kill him. There's not really a middle ground. I am the Juggernaut. I have no crit. Katie, what do you think of this?
I think this Juggernaut is very poor.
I think, I think I gotta wonder a little bit why you would level your Omni Slash if you don't have a single point in your crit. I don't know. You did get a Javelin at least. There is that. But I don't know, that kind of strikes me as like getting the Luna ult with 1 level of Lucian Beam, you know?
Dyer's bottom tower.
3-man smoke coming out on Thugwood, looking at top lane, where Pudge just TB'd away, so they're not really going to be finding anything there. They could ward up this jungle, but to be blunt with you, I don't really see jungling being a very major part of Grim Adventure strategy in this particular game. I think there's really one thing for Grim Adventures to farm in this game, and that's kills. I don't think anybody on this team is really that great at farming otherwise. Except Enigma, I guess, but it's not exactly pause 1 material on Enigma. I'm gonna bully the hell out of Earthshaker here. Also try to go for Enigma under the tower. Everything's coming up very well. That was a very good sequence of events for them here. But it is now over for Pangolier. The artillery in return takes out PVC pipe. He did buy back for that, so that's a dieback out of him. Pudge is going to try to tank through here. By the way, he actually did end up going Hood rather than Vanguard after all. Pudge tanks up here to get a couple of kills, get some fat stacks going on, but ultimately does not live in the light of Death Prophet Madness, who finally falls to Tiny there, who I thought was taking a great risk showing up here. He's still at risk here as, oh no, bro! Oh, that sucks.
Oh yeah, I think that deserves it too.
Tiny! Holy crap, Cranberry lived all of that. Juggernaut's just kind of walking around over here. Black Hole.
Was that?
Second Black Hole of the game.
I don't think he even
Maybe.
meant to cast that like at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
It didn't seem like the moment.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know. I mean, that's definitely the wrongest place to possibly cast Black Hole is in the middle of Battery Assault when you have no magic immunity, so. I don't know. That's a little hard to say.
What need have I for invisible?
Oh, what a big fight that was there.
Quite nice, actually.
So much back and forth action going on. Jackie Chan very nearly getting himself killed there. The Bush running through everybody here. Good silence to turn things around. Clockwork under the tower again. PVC Pipe attempting to cut this off with his Q. Pause. Seriously? Come on now.
Was that a BM
Anyway.
pause?
I think that was an accidental pause. Anyway, Earthshaker attempting to cut things off with this Q there, but the problem is that there's quite a lot of people on Radiant who have the ability to just jump that gap at the moment. Both Pangolier and Clockwork, and I believe Snapfire Cookie as well, so anyone with that can jump over the Fissure. She's going to actually kind of inert Earthshaker in that capacity in this game. He's not really going to be able to get much done in terms of limiting the enemy mobility. Which means this is definitely going to be one of the games where he's going to need a shard as soon as humanly possible if he wants to have really that much impact at all. Radiant Siege on the mid T1 is finally coming to an end as Matty Boy has graciously accepted his death. That is... okay, that's a super unnecessary. That time, Roxy knew there was nothing else there. Just did it just to tilt Matty Boy. Oops.
Oops, indeed.
Katie, what do you think of this match so far? Who do you think is winning this one?
I thought the Mickle
Death Rock and
Pudge
stuff.
looked very strong in concept, but in practice, it might not be panning out so well. So maybe,
so far-
maybe Hollywood team on this one.
So far he is 3-1-3, which is still a positive KDA, but probably less than he would have wanted. Cranberry Sprite just very casually going down to the Pangolier here, who's going to eat Viper for dessert on his way out.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the Pudge is as big a presence here as you'd expect a Pudge to be.
Especially in Pause 1.
Yeah.
And doubly especially considering that he actually is one of the only people on this team who has a really very great answer to either the Jug or the Pangolier, since, you know, the Dismember does not care. Well, I mean, it cares for damage if you are magic immune inside of it, but it does not care for the stun, so Pudge can just hold either Juggernaut or the Pangolier through their whole ults, especially if he picks up like an Aether Lens or gets like a Telescope or something like that, which will make actually doing that a hell of a lot easier. Rushing straight towards the Dax here, not too much of a threat. Again, unfortunately for Death Prophet, kind of messed up her timing there. Shot on Enigma. Clockwork is going to go down right in kind for it, but that's not much of an equal trade.
Yeah,
might be,
EXO is up, so Death Prophet's team is sort of like vaguely around to go for the tier 2 after the fight.
Roxy Roro did just go randomly down in the background to the Tiny.
A classic mistake.
Pudge is not here at all. Which I
That's
don't
the thing
know, I gotta...
you have to look out for with Death Prophet. If her EXO is up and she's near a tower, you know that her entire team is going to be called to arms.
That was a super early glyph. The downside is that the EXO is pretty much... The fight lasted probably longer than Jackie Chan expected it to, and as a result, the EXO is already gone by the time the actual push in the tower really starts here, so nothing's getting done. Mickle finds his
Unfortunate.
random camp to be blocked off. That's very sad. His ancients are also blocked off, though he doesn't know that yet.
Dire are scanning.
Dire scanned out. They saw Jackie Chan pass by Roche, but they know they're not actually in there. Oh, Hollywood is going to be... Clockwork is going to be stalking around the territory. Looking for a hook, does get one. PVC Pipe is now stunned out, though this may not precisely be where Hollywood actually wants to be. Tiny coming in, trying to get a very quick and easy kill. The Bush is going to throw some knives this way to try and scare them off, though not accomplish particularly much. Katie, you ever wonder what death is like?
No.
Here it is. I don't think I like the decision to get the Nether Toxin here and now, let me tell you why. Unless you're gonna be... I think in this game, Matty either needed to max this ASAP, or needed to just completely wait it out. The low levels of Nether Toxin do so little DPS that it really is just a break puddle. And, you know, I said it before, I said it a lot this week, look at what you get with the max level of Corrosive Skin, Katie. You see that?
Magic resistance.
25% magic resist. Now, let me ask you something. What in the world in this game would you want the magic resist for? I mean, I just can't think of anything where magic resist
Wow, is it maybe kisses and spin?
And also most of the clockwork stuff. It's smaller, but you know, with a hero like Clockwork, you want every advantage you can take. It feels like the strategy that they kind of have with this lineup here so far has been... This is a great black hole, L! This is a great black hole! That was a really good Earthshaker ult, too!
Showing how effective their combo is here.
Everybody on Radiant just going down in quick sequence here.
Yeah, I take back what I said about thinking Hollywood's team was gonna win. I forgot how ridiculous this entire lineup on the Matty Boy team was with their incredible teamfight CC.
I mean, here's the thing, right? I think the big issue so far that Grim Adventures has been having is that they've almost been running this strategy backwards. Instead of it being Pudge roaming for kills and Tiny being the vanguard of fights, it feels like it's been, you know, and farming the background when there's like not good fights to take. It feels like Pudge has been playing this like a very traditional Pause 1, which is to say he's been trying to farm off side lanes, only rarely showing up to fight, only showing up when it's like a massive advantage to him, and Tiny's been kind of just prowling around for easy kills. Let's look at realpolitik here. This is not either of these heroes' strengths, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think if they start turning this around, or if... Oh, well... Goodbye to Tall Balls and Matty Boy. But if they start turning this around, if it starts being Pudges just getting random hooks, just randomly hitting people in places, then, you know, things start looking up a little bit more. But if it just keeps being like Pudge just trying to farm side lanes and stuff. Hey, Pudge hypothetically scales infinitely, right, with the Flesh Sheep, but he needs kills to do that, not money. If you just judge Pudge on how much he can scale on money alone, you're not going to get too far.
Judge Pudge.
Yeah, it rhymes. Definitely a more unorthodox strategy, and I think this, as I mentioned in week 1, I do think that a more unorthodox strategy can suit the Grim Adventures lineup quite well. They've had people who are very experienced in doing it. Oh, just barely whiffing the hook there out of the smoke. Lots of pings going out here. This was not where the push probably wanted to be. He rolls up there to try and eat the Viper Strike, but unfortunately for him, Viper Strike goes right through Magic Community. Good use of the Blink Dagger.
Gonna eat through this entire Matty Boy team.
Yep. Well, not Tiny.
Never mind.
Roxy? Okay, there we go. Matty Boy
At
steps
least
in the wrong place.
they were polite about it.
Matty Boy steps in the wrong place, gets totally demolished. Juggernaut is here.
Alright, let's go, Jug. He doesn't have Omni. Oh no. No spin, no Omni.
Tiny's still very low health though. 5 seconds to Omni. But nothing coming out of it there. That was a hard fight to really call. It looks like you could say that Dire technically won it by just such a slim margin, though. All Pudge got was one fat stack. They didn't really have too much money change hands, but if there is one big bit of good news, basically all the money went to Tiny, and he's probably the guy who needs it most of all right now. There's one thing that I think the Dire is really lacking in these fights. I think they need some more tanky type items. They need to be building some more red flavored stuff. They need to be building some more strength flavored stuff. You know. And I don't mean just literally in terms of being able to like inert damage like a BKB. I feel like, you know, we need like an AC on this Dire lineup. I feel like we need, you know, probably not Crimson. Like I said, Crimson gets completely buried by the Snapfire Pangolier combo here. That's not going to be good for him.
What is Pudge building?
What's the Fat Man building? Let's find out. He's still building that BKB. He's been working on that for quite a while, ever since he got Ags, which he did around 10 minutes ago, I think. Maybe like 7 or 8. Nice net worth in the server, right behind Pangolier. Very neck and neck. Unfortunately, I will say this much. I think 11.8k on Pangolier means a lot more than 11k on Pudge. You know, considering Pudge's fat stack count at this point isn't really as good as perhaps he wants it to be. Flare goes out. All it finds is Pudge. Pudge finds Death Prophet, though. Death Prophet is going to try to use BKB here to soak through a lot of this damage. He's wasting a lot of time. Hollywood just ulted something random at the side of the screen. Jackie Chan is exoing. The exo did pretty much all the damage it needed to do, though, I think.
Yeah, that was an incredible response from Jackie. He used just everything perfectly.
Earthshaker, one-man Echo Slam. That was a great hook from Mickle. Gets Cranberry Sprite right out of the bad side. Matty Boy is just randomly going to go down to the knife throwing. We have not had a black hole out of tall balls in a very long time.
You ever get black hole anxiety?
Tall ball seems to be in this game. Another very inconclusive fight. Another technical victory on the Dire. A bit more this time. At least Pudge got 2 fat stacks out of it. But it feels like the 2 big issues are A, the Dire, even when the Dire has a theoretical advantage, they have so little damage to offer, they cannot really take, like, you know, Jackie Chan there took 9.5 hours to kill, because when he hit BKB, literally all this entire team had his Viper Strike. And B, you know, they just can't get anything decisive out of these fights. It's just, you know, every single fight they have, it's just like they get a kill or two, the enemy team gets a kill or two, or fights go like everybody just kind of dies. It's been a very long time since they've had a nice clean win, and it's been an even longer time since anybody's touched or even had a nasty thought about Juggernaut, who is rapidly closing in on Isaiah Scotty. I are going to do a 5-man smoke gank here. He looks completely none the wiser. Why'd they wait? Black hole, dude! Come on!
Oh no.
Why did they not have Tiny go first there? Just insta-stun. They just gave Juggernaut the opportunity to spin, get out of there. That was very badly executed. Mickle's BKB is now complete. He's trying to make use of it. Major way. Just immediately runs over the clock, or just eats him straight up. Which is great, but it's not even a millionth as good as it would have been to kill the Juggernaut there. It would have been bad to have to drop the black hole, that's true, but I mean, what else are you going to drop it on this game? You know, the Pangolier's bad, but he doesn't really mean anything if the Exo's not up. I don't know. That was really bad looking. What do you think, Katie?
I think,
is under attack.
just stack the stuns on the Juggernaut, dude.
Yeah. Like, the way that should have gone, rather than, like, throwing the Earthshaker in, which is just a really bad decision. It just should have been, you know, Earthshaker starts off with a stun, then Tiny immediately just blinks on and just drops everything. you know, Earthshaker has a Force Staff if he, for some reason, needs to be right up in Jug's face for another W or something. But I mean, ideally,
Radiant's bottom tower is under
shouldn't
attack.
necessarily need that.
Regeneration.
You also have Tall Balls who's sitting nearby with a Blink Dagger of his own, who's also able, if need be, to jump in for another half second to stun there with his Q. I mean, Jug's gonna spin that
Radiant's
off very
bottom
quickly,
tower
don't get me
is under
wrong.
attack.
But, you know, you can do a lot more. That's what I'm saying. Tiny has finished his BKB, which is going to make him a bit of a tougher customer here. Really, most of what that's going to stop is the Death Prophet Silence and the Snapfire ult and stun, though. Doesn't really get
Radiant's
much
bottom
else in
tower
this
has
particular game
fallen.
done, unfortunately for them. Looks like they're planning on dropping this next Exo on Roshan. Seems like Matty Boy's team is having a bit of a conflicted response about it. They are, you know,
Radiant's
Matty Boy and
bottom tower
PVC
is
were
under
very
attack.
immediately posturing on that. Everybody else is kind of thinking about it. Looks like they're
I
thinking
think
about it. The
they
answer is
might
no.
conclude that there's not much they can do about this. Okay, Matty Boy going in.
You get a good distraction play here. I mean, I'm going to be blunt enough to say, even if you have a nice. Well, this is a one-man black hole. Not if Jug runs directly into it, though.
Wow.
Hollywood snatches the Aegis. Okay, that wasn't great on Chuck's part. Even if they have DP, I don't think there's ever a Roche that's uncontestable if you have Enigma with Black Hole off CD. I mean, that's just such a massive atom bomb you can drop into their pit. Totally suck not getting the Aegis off that for them, but I cannot imagine that they're too mad otherwise. They need to just finally get Jug after a very long time of him just farming uncontested. You know, they did totally... They didn't actually get Roche, but at least they got the goal off of doing them. And they completely wasted any Aegis they could have got. Wasn't the worst thing in the world, but man, that is probably not what they want to have happen. Pickle posturing all over the Pangolier here, but just eats a lot of daggers to the face for his trouble. He's got Courier coming in. What's coming in on that? He's going Eternal Shroud here. Not a bad idea. Gonna help him mana battery quite a bit. Just gonna give him Lifesteal on his Rob, particularly good. All I would is just going to try and drop on Earthshaker here, and just Pudge is just going to Pudge at him.
We might be at the unkillable Pudge stage of the game.
We're not at the unkillable Pudge team stage of the game, though, that much for sure. Man, there's so much dropped on Pudge's head here, but he's just eating all of it.
The absolute raid boss that is Ag's Pudge. If I've said it once, I'll say it again. I know I've said it like more than 3 times to you. The only thing in this game I think is OP right now, without a doubt, is Pudge Ags.
I think
There's
quite a lot of
nothing
people
else
would
that
agree with you
even
on
comes
that.
close to Pudge Ags in terms of power level.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What the hell is this? Yeah, who's drawing furry art in the goddamn Dota game? Is this white guy?
Middle tower is under attack. Dire's
Pudge gets hit
structures are
once and he gets
fortified.
disarmed. Buy a lottery ticket.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Pudge really, really overstayed his welcome here.
Dang. Raid boss down.
Yeah, I mean, it took a very, very long time to kill him, but I don't really understand why Mikkel was still hanging around there. Like, even if Pangolier didn't have ult, I mean, he's just kind of sitting at an HP level that was so low, he's just like
Radiant's top tower
one
is under
Pangolier Q
attack.
away from death.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Viper getting eliminated from this world by the Pangolier and Juggernaut combo. Enigma has double damage, this ought to be good. Nope, never mind, he's not actually going to do anything, he's the only person alive right now.
Probably smart.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A little surprised we didn't have the Exo come out here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Earthshaker finally going for that shard. Think,
Jackie Chan might be like what I've learned from last time, where he uses Exo for an objective and he got rolled over in the following team fight. He might be wanting to save it for like the start of team fights from now on.
Not a bad idea, but I do think at this point they're starting to get to the point where they can just kind of kill him even through all of his tricks. Titan Slayer just came out for Tiny, which is a very, very big item for him. He's also really close to Ags. He's just a couple of hundred gold short. Interestingly, he has elected to buy Ags before his shard. Which, I mean, I guess you can get away with it if you have the money for it. Pudge is going S and K here. Because he just wants to be just the big miasma cloud. He wants to be,
Whose house?
he wants to be the entire Sierra Madre at this point. Viper looking at a Lotus Orb here. What is Lotus Orb going to do? The only thing I could really think of is stop the disarm. It's not a very good counter to the juggled, if that's what you're thinking, I promise you that. Like, stop the disarm and stop the DP silence, that's legitimately it, I think. That's not very good, it's not a very good Lotus game. I mean, stopping the disarm would matter a lot more if the one guy on your team who actually cared about that was A, fighting Pango basically ever, or B, didn't have BKB. I don't know. Well, Hollywood is just about to get eaten. I really thought Enigma was just going to drop Black Hole on that for no reason. But speaking of dropping things, you know, I will say, if you're a Viper or an Enigma in a game like this, and Pudge is getting an ult on somebody, just drop your Nether Toxin or Midnight Pulse on them just to speed up the process. Like, you know, they're guaranteed dead. Those abilities are up so fast that you really aren't missing anything. Radiant, no, sorry, Dire. Grim Adventurers are so desperate for Radiant to come out and fight. They so badly want Radiant to do something here, but not really looking to do anything.
It's not gonna happen. Radiant are very aware of what's happening here.
BBC Pipe calling that the enemy team is in their own jungle, which is, for the most part, true.
Radiant's top tower.
Or at least was at the time. Now they have moved back to a Tortoise position behind their T3s. I am the Juggernaut. I will split push. But you're going for strength flank here. BBC Pipe takes a look at the Roche pit. Roche could not possibly be up yet. And you just know in a situation like this, it's going to be as long as humanly possible, right?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
Creeps
bottom
knock over
tower
the
has
T1
fallen.
bot for Dire.
Juggernaut could have kept going.
Likely could have, but I could definitely see why you would not want to do
What?
that in this game.
Yeah, I would be scared at the Pudge if I was the split pushing Juggernaut.
Because you're definitely not going to kill him. He's got a Trickster Cloak. This could be really good for him if he wants it. Matty Boy trying to get a lot done here. Enigma is going to drop a black hole right on Bangalier's head. Just get him wiped off the face of the universe. He's going to buy back. Omni Slash coming out. It's being split roughly evenly between all 5 people. Pudge immediately tries to ult the second that Jug gets out, but does not make it in time for the spin to come out. One
Show
man
me
Echo.
Juggernaut's items.
Okay.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I think
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Man, he should be looking at a basher, or he should have looked at the basher previously. He's getting such, like, good response times on these spins
Radiant's top tower
that if he's spinning while getting Pudge ulted and he has a basher, it's a lot better for him.
under attack.
Pudge just trying to eat people under T4s here. It's probably... Oh, he did get Pangolier at a good time. That just gave him a lot of his health back. Pangolier in an awkward situation. The most awkward possible situation for a Pangolier ult. There's really not any kind of obstructions around for him. These guys need to keep their eye on the ball, though. You know, they can't let this happen to him and not, like, take the racks. Pudge gets totally found out here. Eats Pangolier. Radiant has just Juggler.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
Eidolon's man, there we go.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Mikkel is now sitting on 26 stacks of fat. And has just jumped Clockwork inside of his own base for another one, 27. Currently sitting on 4,455 HP, compared to 2,600 on the Juggernaut, or 2,700 on the Pangolier. Or 1,635 on poor Matty Boy. Roshan is now up. If Pudge takes Aegis, this is probably it. I really just don't see any way they can possibly kill him twice. The only question is, what the hell does he get rid of for it? I guess BKB. That's it.
Radiant are scanning.
Pudge's taken the Roshan all on his own. I'll tell you this much. Viper should not be outside of the Roche pit right now. This Viper Shard is such a massive ability for fighting Roche, and it is so much slower without it. And somebody has now informed him of that, and so now this Roche attention is going much smoother.
Pudge dies to Roche easier than he dies to the enemy team.
Sad. Shard just went down. It's not Vipers. Enigma is sitting on it. Wants to get that funny the long Malefice. Arcane Rune and bot, surprising that Pudge doesn't want it. Okay. Not surprising that Pudge does want it in the end. He does start to walk away from it accidentally for just a second. This is a mistake. He should definitely just knock out the BKB for the Aegis rather than SNK. That's really going to hamper his first life.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You shouldn't be BKBing your first life anyway, right? Not usually. Some very, very rare scenarios, like if you absolutely need to get somewhere through stuns, and yeah, sure, fine. But usually you don't do that.
That's not something I think about a lot. I think I should keep that in mind. To remove the BKB if you have to remove anything. It's a good idea.
Definitely needs the phase boots. Positioning is still of maximum importance to Pudge. Needs the overwhelming blink. Needs the Ags, obviously. Needs the shroud, or the eternal shroud, obviously. I think he definitely could just go without this BKB until the Aegis is down.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Death Prophet had to pick up a
Aeon-Fist.
And then we're just gonna get solo ulted by Juggernaut here. The Death Prophet comes out, but it's basically just immediately stymied. She just goes down way too fast. Big Echo Slam on part of Earthshaker here. Just cleanly, calmly gets rid of the Void.
That is so sad. Juggernaut was doing so well trying to deal with the Pudge last fight, but he just ran out of juice.
Yep. Okay, Mikkel's getting a little greedy here.
Yeah.
But I guess it's not gonna matter if, especially if Jackie Chan just calls the G's.
GG.
Wait, they stole one enchanted quiver? Nice. Grim Adventures take the Duke here. It was a very interesting match. I do think that there's some execution-related issues with the Grim Adventures lineup. Probably most notably, it's like the small things, especially on if Mikkel is playing an unusual pause 1. Like, we saw in this game how in the early game you just kind of wander around a lot trying to farm rather than try to get kills. He's playing as Pudge. That doesn't work, brother, I understand that you want to have Ags as soon as humanly possible, don't get me wrong, but even after Ags, you still kind of kept doing that. There's just a few moments in this match where even though he started to get really scary, he did still quite overestimate himself and open up some holes for Thugwood's team to fill in there to get the job done. The Tall Balls Enigma was a little awkward. There were a few moments where you had some very good black holes, but I feel like, if you looked at the open Dota for this match, you probably see like 3 or I think it's 4 black holes in total over the course of this entire game, which that ain't great. That's 1 for every 10 kills. That's one for every 10 minutes. I don't know. That's not a great ratio. That's not a great rate there. So to that end, yeah, I do think there's some awkward things to work on for Grim Adventures, but I do think if they are going to be taking some adventures into more unconventional gameplay, then doing something like this is a good start. What do you think, Katie?
I think, haha, Hollywood has 20 deaths.
It's true, man did feed. I played Pause 4 this week. I didn't have 20 deaths, I'm just saying.
How many deaths did you have?
I actually had a very low death count in both games. I think in the game I did actually play Pause 4, I had like 3. In the Snapfire game.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I do think...
Hard team to not feed to on the supports, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. It's a very nasty lineup for the supports to have to put their faces into. I will say this much, I think the Viper was just... In the end, I think the Viper ended up being kind of totally redundant. They could have ran most other supports and had pretty much the same game. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.